Okay, I think we are live.
Ooh.
Yay. Hey everyone. Welcome to this week's virtual write-in. Exciting. Week 2 of NaNoWriMo. Somehow, I don't know. I always feel like it sneaks up on me a little bit. But
We made it though.
yeah, so far. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Catherine. I'm the communications manager here at NaNoWriMo, and my pronouns are she, her, or they, them. Nautica?
Yeah, I am Nautica. I'm the editorial intern. I go by they, them, or she, her. And we have a guest with us today.
Yeah. Rebecca, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, I am Rebecca Kim Wells. I'm the author of 3 young adult fantasy novels, including Briar Girls, which is coming out next week. Very exciting. And the pronouns you can use for me are she, her.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so Rebecca is our Nano coach for this week. So if you guys haven't already checked it out on Instagram, she's been just giving amazing advice over there. So
Thank you.
Yeah, we're super happy to have you. And also I want you to know that when we shared your novel cover in the NaNoWriMo Slack, everybody was like, oh my God, it's such a pretty cover. So.
Oh my gosh, I got so lucky. The cover illustration, in case you want to go look this person up and look at their other work, was done by Leo Nichols, and he's done a lot of other book covers. And then the other amazing thing, which they didn't tell me about until I saw this on Instagram, is that they did foil on the cover. It's so beautiful. This was a surprise to me. I've never had it on a book before, and it's amazing.
Okay.
And that was done by the designer Sarah Creech. And I like to shout them out because they did amazing work on this book.
Oh, that's so exciting. Beautiful. Awesome. Well, we have a bunch of people joining today. Sorry, I've been juggling a bunch of stuff, but it's really cool to see everybody joining us from all over the world. At Seattle and Iowa,
Wisconsin.
Nice. Canada.
Oh, we got France.
Ooh,
France. I had a question from Germany today, and that was very exciting.
That's awesome. Cool. Yeah, so if anybody here has never been to a virtual write-in before, essentially we're just going to be taking about an hour and doing some writing prompts to try and hit our word count for the day. And we'll also be doing some discussion about writing and kind of talking about how it's going for us. If you have any questions that you would like to ask us or Rebecca, feel free to put them in the chat. But yeah, I don't know. Should we start reading? Should we warm up?
You want to warm up with a sprint right now?
Yeah.
I think we could do it. Cool.
Oh, wait, Magna's here. She's able
Really?
to join. Oh yeah, I forgot about all the announcements. I don't know if you want to share the announcements. Hey.
Oh my God. Hello. I am so sorry.
No worries. We're live. And I think Nautica is about to share some announcements with us, and then we're gonna get into our first writing sprint. So
yeah, no rush, Magna. If you just found a place, no rush. You're all good.
we're so glad you're here.
For the announcements, we have a bunch of live programs, because why not? In case y'all need extra support. Maybe y'all just love this space so much. Maybe you're like, I'm greedy, I need more. We have a bunch of events going on. The 100 Hours of Writing event is a live stream writing marathon hosted on Twitch. So we have that going on. And Catherine, do you know when that is? Or are you
it's happening
right now?
Yeah, it's like 100 straight hours of writing. It's led by some of our MLs and some other volunteers, but I think they started on Thursday and they're going through till Monday. So
y'all have all weekend to join, or even after this, if y'all just, you feel called to it. We have virtual write-in with Kelly Ty on Saturday, I believe at 10 a.m. Pacific.
Oh, hers is 7 a.m. Pacific.
7 a.m. Pacific for all the early birds. Sorry, all the times are off. I thought all the times were on here.
Yeah.
Right.
Writer of color on Saturday.
All the events are in Central Time. So if you are interested in any of the events, I recommend checking the NaNoWriMo calendar because that'll be in like whatever your time zone is usually. My time zone is Central Time, which is why all the ones in the announcements are Central Time.
I kind of love that, to be honest, because Pacific and Eastern get all the glory. It's nice to make us work to, use our brains a little bit sometimes.
Okay, yes, continue.
I'm just so used to being on the West Coast. We also have writers and yoga sprints on Sunday for those that want to be physical with it. Webcast.
And exciting news for that one. I think that one's happening on Zoom, and we upped our Zoom limit because I think the first one we had a limit of 100 people, and that was immediately 100 people joined the first one. So we upped our Zoom limit for now. So if you want to join the yoga writer, there should the writer yoga for writers, there should be space for that.
Exactly. So more folks can join. And then we have a webcast with guest author Marissa Meyer on Monday, and LGBTQIA plus writers community time on Thursday. And all this stuff is going to be put in the chat because I'm not good with numbers or time, but you can always check on the NaNo website because there's always stuff happening for y'all.
Yeah, I put a link to the calendar in there. So
thank you.
Yeah. Okay, got our announcements out of the way. Megna's here. It's a party.
Megna's a mess. I am so sorry.
You're great.
For context, everyone watching, I have a rat and bee infestation, which I didn't even know was a thing. So I got kicked out of my apartment, and I'm now in a study room. College.
You should write that into a story. That's a good thing to write into a story.
That is what I will be doing today, just to cope. But I guess we should start with the prompts.
Yeah.
So, let me open that up.
I got it in front of me right now. It's use these words, right? Or try to create a scene with these words. And it's going to be red, scarf, time, car, dancing. And it's also,
you can't tell, I did the prompt and it is Taylor Swift themed. So enjoy, folks. That is,
I love that.
Yeah, feel free to use one word or use all of the words or use none of the words, whatever gets you writing for the next 5 minutes.
All right. Oh, I got a timer here.
Thank you, Catherine.
Yeah. Okay. Pull it up. All right, 5 minutes, and let's start writing now. Got about a minute left on this prompt. Okay, that is time for that prompt. Go ahead and wrap up what you're writing. If you want to put how you used that prompt or a sentence that you wrote or your word count in the chat, feel free to do that.
How many words did y'all get?
Not many.
I got 2. I think I said 100 a little too confidently. 112. Okay.
Nice.
But I only used one of the words. I used time.
That's okay. Defy your own writing prompt.
I refuse to follow the rules, so I didn't use any of these words, and I'm also writing on a notebook with a fountain pen, so I don't know what I did, but I have 3 paragraphs.
I feel like that's a decent amount considering it was 5 minutes.
I mean, we can talk more about this later. I don't know if we have like discussion moments, but I actually have not really written in about a year. And all of a sudden, then in the last week, I was like, I'm excited about writing again. And that's what's happening.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that you're writing with a fountain pen too.
Yeah, I just went by a stationery store and I didn't think I was going to get one, but then they got me. And it's just like, I just really enjoy it because it's very like romantic. And I have this bottle of ink that when I, run out, then I like fill it back up again. And yeah, just like psychologically, it's a nice treat to have.
It's wonderful.
Stationery stores always get you. Like you think you have self-control, and then you walk out with 3 pens and a notebook, and you think, huh, maybe I don't know myself that well. But, yeah.
Well, I mean, I just should be happy with myself that I stuck with like the beginner $30 fountain pen, as opposed to like there were fountain pens in there that were like $300.
No.
I know it was, and yeah.
We got this high price, but let's see the high amount of words that people made. I tried really hard.
It was great. It was a transition.
Someone saw like Beck Radley 774 words in 5 minutes ? And I don't know if they're questioning someone or if they did that.
That's amazing. That's like, a lot of people on the questions were really worried about, oh, I'm so busy. How do I find the time to write? And I was telling people like, look, you can write in 5 minutes. You can write a paragraph in 5 minutes. That's just how it happens. And look, 700 words in 5 minutes. That's like, you can bang out your entire daily word count in like 15 minutes.
Exactly. And I think it was Aaliyah who got that amount. So nice.
I also see some people who had 256 words. I see some people getting close to their plot twist of their story, which is very nice. But yeah.
It's exciting. For those of you who are like, I do not write 700 words in 5 minutes, like I think I got maybe 20. So I've been very behind on my writing goals this year.
Speaking of, for our discussion topic, how's NaNoWriMo going for you so far? Everyone individually. So we'll start with Catherine.
Well, not great. I mean, it's going. I'm definitely. I don't think I'm gonna get to 50K this year. I'm not sure. I'll keep going along, but yeah, it's it's hard sometimes.
That's okay.
I don't know. How about you?
Great question.
Megna, sorry, I want to tell Megna this also. I finished the first draft to my raccoon story.
Okay.
But I have to be
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I want to redo it, but I finished something, so I'm happy.
No, Nautica's raccoon story is the thing that's been keeping me going. I want to read it so badly because it just sounds incredible in my head.
So have you talked about what it's about aside from a raccoon?
Yeah,
this is new to me.
Yeah, just like a real, like, I guess a sentence. It's about someone who jokes that a raccoon's going to replace them so often, they gaslight themselves to believe it. And so they think that a raccoon's going to replace them. That's all it's about. It's a short story.
And then, like, they're in their entire life, like going to work, raccoon, making themselves dinner in their house, going to sleep.
Yeah, like eating their mom's cooking, planning for the weather, going through their dresser, getting dressed, everything. No one's going to notice the difference.
So then what's going to happen to the person? Like, they're going to get...
I think they're going to get a race. It's going to be, it's absurd, like on purpose. So I'm still playing with it.
I love it. When I was thinking about, okay, it's time to get on this virtual write-in, this is not something that I anticipated.
What about you, Rebecca? How's it going?
I think it's going fantastic, actually. I actually haven't seriously attempted NaNoWriMo in many years, partially because I started selling books and publishing books. And then I was like, this year, I wasn't feeling great about writing. So I thought to myself, well, maybe this is my chance to sort of get back into it a little bit. And I logged on to the NaNoWriMo forum and I shocked myself because when I looked back at the last Nano that I won, it was the book that became my debut novel.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. No, it's not. It's actually, no, it's this book. It was this book.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, it was 2014. It was Nano 2014. I drafted 50,000 words of this book. And I forgot that was how that happened. And then I signed with an agent for it. It went on submission. It didn't sell. And then I put it away for a long time. That's why I sort of forgot about that. Anyway, but that was very cool to see that once upon a time, that was a Nano thing. And then I was like, well, I'll just try to, write something this month. And I have not been tracking word count. I have no idea where I am. I will at some point probably move off of the notebook into a computer and then I'll know where I am. But my win this year is just writing every day and being really excited about writing again, which I have not been for a while. So that's what's up with me. I think it's going great.
That's awesome.
It's especially cool to hear how your projects turned into like the novel that you have now. Like you get to physically hold it. I think a lot of folks do that.
I mean, they change so much over the years. And like this one had a fraught history because, it went on submission to publishers and it didn't sell. And for a long time, I didn't think that it was going to be published. And then, so then I like tried not to think about it because it was too sad. And then of course, when we got the deal to publish it, then I was like, yay. So.
Nautica, what about you? How's it going?
I told you how it was going.
Oh yes, you finished your draft.
Yeah, with the raccoon. But it's nice hearing it's nice hearing about y'all, honestly, with your Nano. And I think I see a lot of folks in the chat really sharing their word counts, as well as like just being either dedicated or maybe they're a little behind.
Doesn't matter. I mean, maybe that's, something that I shouldn't say per the official Nano rules, but in my opinion, and that's what I was telling everybody on Instagram this whole week, like it does not matter whether you win NaNoWriMo or not. All that matters is, are you making progress and are you happy about writing? And that's it.
That feels so like validating to hear.
For me, this is like my first Nano where I'm actually like updating my word count and like trying to write every day, because that was the one rule I had for myself, was to try and write every day. Have I not written for 4 days? Don't ask me that question. But I like that I'm trying now to like actually finish a story, because that's something that like I really want to do. So yeah, I guess it's like slow progress. Even though it's slow, it's progress. We're getting there.
Great. I see somebody, Marjam S in the chat says it's a struggle because I'm writing nonfiction and have been working on it for 5 years. Yeah, that's real. I think the first novel draft, like first draft that I ever completed, like I started writing it my freshman year of college and I didn't actually finish the first draft until 10 years later. And then I looked at it and I was like, I don't know that this is ever going to see the light of day, because my writing style and just like the way that I think about things has changed so much in the amount of time that I put into working on this project. But the next one only took me like 2 years. So.
Well, and nonfiction too is also really hard to write like this, because it has to be true. As opposed to, if I'm writing and I'm like, oh, I have to get another 500 words, I could just say whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, it sort of matters. But like nonfiction, there's this whole other burden of, oh, I'm writing, facts and all of that. It's hard to really push that out quickly.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of getting some words on the page, should we move on to our next writing prompt?
Ooh.
I think that one's Rebecca's.
Yeah.
It is mine. And it's based on an experience that I had in real life.
Please share.
Okay, I'll share because it was so like it's going in a book. It definitely is. So I had this dream that I was in this room. I mean, a lot of stuff happens in a dream, but the pertinent part is I was in this room and there was this really enormous, like floppy fish on the bed, like one of those like deep sea creatures that's just like huge and weird looking. And I really don't like fish. Fish kind of scare me, actually. And then all of a sudden there's this guy in this room with me and he was like, oh, do you mind, like, can I swap you for that fish? And what you could do for me is I have these 2 foxes that I need to get rid of, and can you just like take them off my hands? And I was like, yes, that's way better than this terrible looking fish. I will definitely do that. So then I had these 2 foxes and I was having to figure out, like, what am I going to do with them? I decided to take them to my sister because she is really into animals. And I was like, she'll know what to do. And that was the dream I had.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I also get unsettled by fish. So I'm glad I'm not the only one. Because I used to explain this to people because I can eat fish fine. I just
I think it's from a traumatic experience I had in school in like kindergarten. I think that's where it is from, because they had these fish and they had you like paint the fish with real paint and then press butcher paper down on the fish and then you have like the fish print. And I just was like none of that sounds good to me.
Yeah. Oh,
I think if the school did that, I would also get traumatized. How do you pitch that? Like, you just bring dead fish to children and you're like, arts and crafts.
Yeah, it's just like, that's such a bad idea in my opinion. Look what happened to me.
Yeah, it created in a way it created this prompts.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. How much time do we have for it, Catherine?
Let's do 10 minutes for this one. So.
And Rebecca, do you want to read it?
Yes. Okay. So this prompt is, what was the last animal that appeared in your dreams? Write it into your story.
Right. So, great. I will set my timer for 10 minutes. So, writing about the last animal that appeared in your dreams. And let's start writing now. Got about 4 minutes left in this prompt. About a minute left. Okay, time is up. Go ahead and wrap up what you're writing. Again, if you want to share in the chat either how you used that prompt or the word count that you got, we'd love to hear it. How'd that go for you guys? Nautica? Looked like you were about to say something.
Forgot I'm on mute. It was good. It was good. How was it for y'all?
I got 267 words in.
I had an urgent Friday afternoon email from my editor, so I had to respond to that.
Writing.
But I did write a sentence right now.
Nice.
I did include an animal though. I just realized that one of my characters has a dog, and I did actually dream about a dog a few weeks ago. Not a few weeks ago, a few days ago. So technically, I did follow the prompt for once.
Thanks.
And
I
it
did-
looks like,
Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say I ended up not writing about an animal, but I did have a dream last night about like making a really elaborate birthday cake. And yeah, so I ended up writing about an elaborate cake. And Casey says, I typed up 234 words. The last animals in my dream was a dragon, but I've had a dragon in this story since page 1.
Same here. I had a dog since page 1 and just continued them in. I see some people had a cat distract them, which, you know, you could also write about the cat. Someone wrote about a spider. That doesn't sound like a fun dream. That sounds like a nightmare.
She said, wasn't expecting that to show up in my story.
They're everywhere.
Oh, someone wrote about a magical bird.
That's fun. I'm curious because Nautica, I know you have a cat who has joined us at some of these virtual write-ins.
Yeah, I'm in my bedroom, which my other cat always hangs out in my bedroom, but he's shy. So he's been attacking things all around me during this, but he doesn't show up on camera.
Gotcha.
One day we will be graced with his presence.
Elizabeth also, I have needy animals in the room in real life. That's real.
You know, she's not hanging out with me today, but my housemate has a dog who, whenever she's at home with me, she'll like curl up on the couch with me while I work, but she'll just keep like inching closer with her nose, like, so we're gonna go on a walk or like do something exciting soon.
Start moving.
She's just tired of seeing you hunched over a laptop.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. She reminds me to take breaks. So
I guess that also kind of relates like to the next question. We also wanted to ask folks, are there animals in the stories you write? How do you tie them into the story? Do you have a pet or animal buddy who keeps you company while you write?
Mhm.
So it's all about animals today.
I've noticed a lot when I write stories. I always try to include them having a cat or a dog. I think it's just because I want a cat or a dog, so it's like wish fulfillment. I'm like, you're going through all these quests and traumatic life experiences, and here's a pet. I hope he makes everything better.
I don't have pets currently, but I do have these guys who live on my desk with me. They're not to scale. This is a polar bear and a prairie dog. First, I only had the polar bear, but then I was like, a polar bear on an iceberg is just very lonely, so needed a friend.
Those are so cute.
Love it. Oh yeah, I have Blobby. Blobby is sort of the unofficial mascot of these virtual write-ins. So he's been hanging out at my house. He's got his little spot on the couch over there. So Blobby's here hanging out with us.
Is that like a specific creature or just a blob?
We think we think he's a T-Rex.
Okay.
I think is what we came to. He has like a tiny little tail in the back. He's got
I mean, those hands are minuscule, so I'm gonna agree with you.
Yeah, he's got little tiny arms. But yeah, mostly he's a very cuddly blob.
He does look at him sometimes like, Nautica, do you ever include your cats into your work?
I don't, but before I started writing the raccoon story, I have a poem, 2 poems about pigeons and pigeons and stars. I think I'm right now on a phase of just writing about outdoor creatures.
That's a fun phase, honestly.
Yeah.
I think you should let us pick your next animal
You should.
that you write about.
You should.
Okay. pretend Annika isn't here. What are we thinking for them?
Oh, I don't know. We should, yeah, people in the chat should tell us what Nautica should write their next story. What animal Nautica should write their next story about.
I'm
Well,
thinking
okay,
fairy tale.
around us, mostly rabbits are the outdoor animals, and once caught a slight glimpse of a groundhog.
Ooh.
But there's also a river by where I am, and on the river there are ducks and geese, Canadian geese, and swans. So lots of options.
Ooh, okay.
I also have squirrels and rabbits. I didn't realize my college had a stray cat problem. I didn't know this was a thing you could have. But one day when I was coming back from a play I saw at my school, my friends and I saw a kitten, and were like, oh my God, it's lost. We should go help it. So we were meowing at this poor thing, like chasing it around to like try and grab it and like take it home or something, or like give it to in case it was lost. And then a cop walked by and was like, "This is normal. There are cats here all the time." And I was like, "Dang, we just harassed that poor thing for no reason."
You're also getting some suggestions in the chat, Nautica.
I'm liking capybara.
Yeah,
I think
crocodile,
out there.
Mm-hmm.
a possum.
I saw the possum. I was thinking about a possum.
Possums are cool.
I like
I
the
have a photo of a possum. I'll send it to you later. This is an important photo.
I think the question in the chat by Tori, does anyone have any advice about implementing animals into their novels? I feel like whenever I do it, it seems unnatural. I feel like that also kind of relates to like the setting in place. I usually write about like people hanging out at like 2 a.m. on the street. So it makes sense if they see a raccoon or seeing an owl, but you know, if they're like, there's a random moose in your home, you know, you have to like, that's a lot more work to develop versus on it or what kind of setting they're in.
Yeah.
For my story, it's about a girl who's like going back to her like old hometown, like renovating her old apartment and stuff. And the people she used to rent to have a dog that they don't take care of at all. So like the first time she goes there, like the dog just pounces on her essentially. And so then the people who left leave and they leave the dog behind. So they just become friends. And for me, I just made the dog a character essentially. So not like a plot device, but like this is a companion. Like if like, people need friends, here is a golden retriever. But yeah, I think treating the animal as much of a character as your actual human characters helps.
Yeah, I think you've all said fantastic things. And I also think that like in your day-to-day life, animals are a part of the setting, right? Like we just talked through all these animals that we see on a daily basis. And I'm sure that in your book, your characters also are in settings where they would see animals on a daily basis. So, you know, if you think about where do you as a writer, where do you as a person encounter animals every day, then you think about, oh, that's a very natural way to encounter an animal. Then, of course, it is more complicated to have an animal as, you know, as like a pet or as like a plot focus.
Yeah. Or if you look in the mirror and someday and you're suddenly a raccoon.
Definitely. I know we're kind of late, so we should get into the last sprint.
Yeah, I think that's perfect time for it.
A sprint. Okay, folks, our prompt is write a scene from a voice you haven't written from before. So for example, if you're used to writing human perspectives, try writing from an animal's perspective. Or if you're used to writing someone who's very pessimistic, try writing someone who's optimistic. Try a different lens, no matter what it is. Bend the prompt to your will, and you don't have to follow the prompts, like we always say. But this could be a cool writing exercise if you're not used to writing from a different perspective.
Yeah. All right, maybe let's do 7 minutes for this one. So I'll set my timer for 7 minutes and let's start writing now. Got about 3 minutes left. Okay, time is up for that sprint. Again, if you want to write in the chat how you used it or share your word count, or if you want to share a total word count for this entire write-in, that would also be fun.
And I know we only have 1 minute left. So we're gonna have a quick closing, but we still want to know how many words you wrote. Shout it loud and proud. And what last second announcements, make sure to make an official project. We want to know how you're doing, and check out the NaNo calendar if you're interested in the writing yoga, the writers of color, queer writers, all the events that we're having throughout the month to help you get some more writing in. Feel free to check out the calendar. I think Catherine's gonna post it below again.
Yep. And I also forgot, we kind of added this one last minute, but we've been having some YouTube guides. So it's other booktubers who've been kind of partnering with our channel during November and making some good advice videos and leading virtual write-ins. So I think Nautica mentioned we have one with Kelly Ty tomorrow, but we also have one this evening. So it's at 7 p.m. Pacific with Alexa Dunn. So if you're like, man, I want to get some more words in tonight, that's in about 5 hours from now. There will be another write-in on this channel. It's on our upcoming videos. So.
Nice. And I see a lot of folks are hitting their goal for the day, or maybe they ran out of juices, but thank y'all for coming. We hope that this was a space whether you can get some advice, but also just, play with your creativity with us. And thank you, Rebecca, for being our guest and joining us here today.
Do you have any last minute words of wisdom that you want to share with folks?
Yes. Thank you so much. I had a great time. I wrote a page and a half, and I actually am very excited about what I wrote. So that's great. And I would say that the biggest theme of questions that I got over this past week on Instagram was, am I doing this right? Whatever this is. Am I writing in the right tense? Did I start too fast? Like, I'm already halfway through my story. Oh, I started too slow. Nothing's happened in 20,000 words. Is this right? Is this right? And what I want you all to take away is that as long as you are making progress, that is right. Anything about, oh, Emma, is this the right tense or whatever? Like, don't worry about it. However you're writing it right now is right. Once you finish your first draft, you can let it rest and then think about, like, how do I want to make the story better if I want to do that? But there's no right or wrong in a first draft. There's just writing it. Don't worry so much. Be like, have fun.
That's great advice. I'm gonna try to embody that as I move forward.
I'm doing great at that right now, and it's fantastic. So I super recommend to everyone.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe if y'all want to be notified when we're doing this and y'all want to pop on. We're doing this every week for November. So make sure to come back next time, same Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific.
Oh, except we're not doing it on the 24th or whatever that weekend is.
Because of Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Other than that,
we're doing it almost every week.
Perfect. But yeah, all the events are on YouTube. So. Cool. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Rebecca. And yeah, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you later.